Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Rasika's CCC Fall 2020 series, Classical Carnatic Corner. We are here today welcoming Vidwan, Mandolin, Rajesh. Welcome.
Namaskaram. Namaste. Happy Vijay to you, to your family, and everyone watching this program.
Thank you. And so now, after a 7-month pandemic that has tied down the whole world, I think you are doing your first concert today. And could you tell us what you're looking forward to?
Well, technically, the concert was yesterday. First concert after 7 months. I've a lot of people asked for public concerts and a lot of concerts, but I was very scared because I have elderly parents and also a kid, so it's not fair on my part to go out and bring in the infection. But performing live in front of a computer doesn't give you that energy. Definitely not. We were doing that past 6 7 months. I mean, technically we didn't have other choice. But this is the performance I performed yesterday was for Satyasai Gramam. It's a beautiful ashram by Swami Satyasai Baba, and is our Ishtadevam. So when he calls, I can't say no.
Of course.
And this is the festival of light and energy where Ma Durga gives us all new hope. I thought I should start with it. And wonderful experience to play a live on a stage with accompaniments and the audience watching. It was such a, I think we all as an artist miss that. That is the best part for an artist. Leave alone the other awards or whatever. The best award is sitting in the concert, and when you finish playing, the audience response, I think that is the best award. You feel great to be on stage after 7 months.
So yesterday I heard that Manju and Nagraj, the violinists, were also there performing.
Yes. I did the previous day, and the next day were Manju and Nagarajanna. Today, in fact, they're doing, they're honoring us, myself, Manju Anna and Naganna. And also they are launching a music course there, so we are being the guest of honor today.
Okay.
It's such a blessing and pleasure to be there today.
We've known Mandolin Srinivas since 2000. Raman, my husband, and Srinivas were that close. They would just pick up the phone and chat with each other, just have a conversation of friendliness and chatting about things in the world. They would be laughing and giggling like two brothers and two friends, even though they were ages apart. So they could connect and talk, and there was a lot of mutual respect and regard for each other that they cherished. So the loss has been very hard for the musical community, personally for Rajesh's family, for us, and for having this huge void and this huge big gap. So for you as a brother, he was not only a brother to you, he was your brother, he was your mentor, your guru, your a parent figure, he was your guide, he was your philosopher. He's given you a lot in life, the discipline of what life is, everything. You want to know, Srinivasa, the personal connect as a...
Wonderful. I mean, like, that was a pretty long question.
Sorry.
I mean, like, very, very important question. First of all, I would like to thank you and Raman sir for this wonderful thing you're doing, giving a lot of good energy to people. This is what needed at this hour. And very, very few people he gets very close. One of them was Raman sir, because with him he doesn't talk anything. Raman sir, if you say, I'll come. I've seen him saying that. He does that with very few people because he's very simple, calm person, but he doesn't get close to very, not everyone. So one of the very few people was Raman sir and your family. Thank you for that. And as you said, one of the great creation by God. It's always, see, he's not only a great artist, but the best part of him was he's a great human being. He's like a complete, there are a lot of great artists. We don't know how personally they are, but our Anna was like a child, He was very, very sweet and very, very easy to be with him. I mean, like on the stage, if you see, he looks like one, amazing giant man.
Yeah.
But when he's off stage, he's like a kid. You know that because we've been done so many tours, and then we went traveled together to a lot of places to perform. So the best part is that I uh, I always thank God that He gave me that blessing to be His brother and be His disciple.
Mhm.
I think best mentor ever you can get is him. That's what all his students feel. Because he's never like a guru, and he was never, while teaching. Normally, people lose their temper because students are also like that. They will they will not listen. The only person who takes so much of care and very sweet while he's teaching, and um, on stage also, it looks like as if I'm sitting and playing very with ease, but I'll tell you, it is a task to perform with
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
because he's like, it's everything is spontaneous. He doesn't select the songs. He doesn't give you what to say.
List, song list.
He says, music just comes. You can't just plan anything. You can't. He says it's like a wrestling match.
Mhm.
You either come, you either give a punch or get punched. It's only the hard way. It is not the easy way.
Mm.
So the way he trained me. I would like to share one very very important. When I finished my 12th standard, when I about to go to regular college. So he called me and said, "What are you going to be your next, course you want to choose?" I said, "I want to become a musician." Even this was after my Arangetam, I was performing with him. I said, "No, you better study, because it is not easy to be a musician, and I will not support musically. I will not support you, and I will teach you. But calling the organizer, please have my brother
Ah,
as a concert." He
yes.
said, "It will not work like that. Then you will become weak. If you are ready to go through the struggle and come the regular way, then you come for music. If not, it's better you study." So I think that's the best thing any guru can say. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
never an easy. I mean,
But
people.
on the other hand, Srinivas never. I've seen that he has never asked anyone. In the sense that he's not the type who would go and say, "Oh, give me this, do this for me." Do I've seen artists being kinder and nicer to somebody just to get things done, and he was
True.
never that. He was at face value. He was truthful and at face value. And if there is a yes, it is a yes. If it's a no,
True.
it's a no. The gray areas and the shaded areas of living life was never his type of his forte. He's not his cup of tea. And so, and that is a hard thing, because that's like a jambavan, right? He's his own
Yeah.
little jambavan. He's a tiny creature, but he's a jambavan. But to follow through in that, right, in that footstep, um, after Srinivas has passed away, I'm going to come into the philanthropic aspect of Srinivas. After Srinivas passed away, I can tell you from, it's my opinion, and that's basically my opinion. I may be biased because of our love for his music and the divinity of his music, but um, he played in the Shakti band, for example. He played in the Shakti band, and for me, he's irreplaceable after he was gone. There is no one who can literally fit into that mold, right? It's like a little very complicated puzzle that he was in that, and nobody can fit or fill that mold, fill that place that he was there. There can be other people who can come and play and do all the stuff, but the band can go on. Of course, everything goes on in life, but that void is still there when I listen to them. Right? It's not the same as it was with Srinivas. So for me, that void is there. For you, what do you what has been your life after he passed away? How was life being? How have you taken the music ahead?
Honestly, if I let me be very very honest, the moment he was not physically here, I didn't want to do music at all. I just wanted to go away to our native place and just stay away from everything, because it is just not the loss, it's complete, because he was like a son and we were like planets, we were like that close, and he was more like a guru and fatherly figure for me. He's never like a brother. And honestly, I never I never talk in front of him. I mean, I was like always on a one step behind him, because that's the way we grew up. It's more, if I mean, even though we were like brothers, and he was my guru and he was like my fatherly figure. Honestly, after his passing away, I didn't want to do anything with music at all because it's like if he is not there, nothing to do. But let me be very honest. Lot of people gave us moral support, everything. But when I said this to my dad, I said this to my dad at the funerals. I was so depressed. Ranjit Bharat, the drummer, he overheard me. So he didn't say anything there. He came back. He stayed there in Chennai for 2 days after the funeral. He came to me. He said, "Listen, I know you're going through so much. I respect your decision that you don't want to do music anymore. But he said, you know that see, a lot of people can play mandolin, and nobody can play like him. That is sure. There's one son, nothing. But what he said is that you Srinivas tone that school that parambaryam that school. There's nobody is there. If you stop, then it is end. It's not fair," he said. "He will be very upset if you stop playing." He said, "You should start playing, not for anything, at least to make him happy." So that's how slowly we could come out of it, and then slowly I start playing. And it is never an easy task. See, when he was there, he was like, taking care of everything. I'm talking about musically, it's you can explore, and he's there like the sun. And suddenly, it is like,
The void.
the
It's a
void is
vacuum.
there.
It's a
And then
void.
the
Yeah.
responsibility, musically, it's not easy. People, if you're an artist by yourself, they won't expect anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's if you're a brother of or a son of somebody great, and they'll expect 200%.
Yeah.
Anything, everything they'll compare. Nothing like him played. Nobody can play a bit anybody.
I
See,
think that's
nobody can be like you. Nobody can be like me. Nobody can be like anybody else. God has designed each individually to do their work. So and then people would first they do is put you down, talk bad. You have to really push everybody, push
it.
through all these struggles and come up. And it's never ending.
An
People are all
artist struggle. An artist struggle is never ending. On
never
top of
ending.
it, to have giant shoes to fill,
Yes.
that are huge shoes to fill. These are not small shoes. Huge shoes to fill, and to take on the responsibility and to, like you said, to carry forward is a great deal of both musical responsibility and personal responsibility, because
Yes.
you're
It's
going to
it's, it's
hear comments pouring
definitely.
into you
Yeah.
that you were not ready for.
True. I
And
mean, like it's like a pilot of A380 says, "Bye. I just have to go," and suddenly you have to hold the steering and you control the whole plane, and you don't know anything about it. It's never easy. But his training, his
yeah,
blessings. I'll tell you. I told the instant when I was 12th standard. He said, "You come hard way." He trained me in a very very beautiful way that even in a worst situation musically, I'm saying, so you can at least survive.
okay. And I think you're doing a lot more than his surviving. So one of the questions that Raman is asking is, what was Srinivas's favorite ragam?
Well, there are a lot of ragams. One of the most favorite was his Kirvani.
Kirvani. So can you play something for us?
Of course, I'll play. I will like to say something is also about this. After he passed away, one of his students who's become a big music director in film industry, DSP Devi Prasad.
Oh, DSP, Devi Sri Prasad.
Yes, Devi
Yeah,
Prasad.
this Mandolin
So,
Srinivas student.
yeah,
Yeah.
and his first birthday celebration came after he passed away. It was in 6 months after he passed away. So he said we should do some tribute, especially you should do. I was suggesting. He said Anna's favorite ragam was Kirvani, and he composed a piece Guruve Namah, which is beautifully sung by himself.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, that's what Kirvani is his favorite. I'll
Yeah.
play a little bit of Kirvani.
Please. Thank you.
That was
Thank
Kirwani.
you.
The last line which I played was Samjanita from his album Samjanita.
His School of Music, Srinivas' School of Music. A lot of people, artists, they would say philanthropy. I'm doing philanthropy. I'm doing a fundraiser for these people. And then I asked them, what exactly did you do with a fundraiser? This is very kind of you. What did you do? He said, oh, whatever they raised the money and stuff. I said, did you charge them then? I said, yeah, we charged our fee, but they have raised money for a cause. But then that's the organizer who's raised the money for a cause and given it. So they are the good people. So they are the philanthropists, the artists who fully charge the money and not really even reduce the fee is not really doing a great service to me, because you do have to give a little bit of yourself and your art to help somebody else, because that's the only way you can help someone. So either by teaching or by being generous to provide a little bit of your art to raise money. So I was quite surprised because I knew a famous violinist, locally here in the Northwest, and he said that to me, and I was shocked. I said, you're charging money for your performance. So, if it's Aid or Asha or someone doing the concert, they're the philanthropists in this group. When it came to Srinivas, we've known who he is, and he has been teaching so many people to play the mandolin. And one thing with Srinivas is he's the one who adapted and adopted and changed and morphed the instrument, the mandolin instrument. In Americana folk music, it's considered a folk instrument. In the US, it's considered a folk instrument. It is not a classical instrument at all. So when I tell mandolin and he plays this, people are surprised. It's a folk instrument. You play classical music and you play a traditional music. I said, yeah, it's traditional Carnatic music. That's what he plays. And he has adapted it so beautifully. And he's brought it to an international arena. He's that famous. So then not only has he done that, he also started teaching youngsters, a lot of people who loved it, and they all got interest and passion to learn because of him. So talk to me about the School of Music. And I can tell everyone, no matter who is listening, who's watching, that nobody's charged in the school. No student is ever charged in the school, and there is no farce or false or negativity, as because everyone is taught for free. So could you talk about that, Rajesh, a little bit, because it's a very noble thing that you are doing, continuing that legacy of teaching.
True. First of all, my brother started this initiative 25 years back, and we named it Shivom. It's SIOWM, Srinivas Institute of World Music. His dream is to build a huge school like Gurukulam. People come learn, self-sustain, and then learn completely for 4-5 years or 6 years, whatever. Do the way you do the Gurukulam, and then come out of the school as a wonderful artist. That was his dream. And then he always believed in one thing, as he always great follover of Kanchi Mahaprabhu and Satya Sai Baba. Vidya Danam is very, very, very important. Vidya should always be given as Danam.
And Vidya Danam, for people who don't know the meaning, is Vidya is knowledge, education, Dhanam is charity and giving. So giving of knowledge or sharing your knowledge. And
yeah, thank you for explaining it. And he said, by God's grace, we have enough to have our own food, house and all. So if we are in such position, I think it's our duty to do service to society. We can't go out and do other services. The only service we know is to give music, teach music free of cost, which is, I think, the best thing. I'm not saying everybody should do it, but situation is like that. If you have a situation where you can actually do it free of cost, I think that is the best service you can do. That he believed very strongly. For me, anything my brother says, I will have to do it. There is no second thought about it. So his dream was to establish an amazing institution which gives. Why he named it World Music means he didn't want to restrict to mandolin. He wanted to create a place where everybody can learn vocal, veena, dance, everything. It should be like an arts temple. It was his dream. Until today, touchwood, by God's grace, we are able to do it free of cost till now. And that's for me everything. My brother says there's no second thought, as I told you.
Yeah.
And when we are talking, you were talking about how you were doing our tour, Anna's and our tour, and then Selva. I like to say something very very important is that after Anna passed away, other than Chennai, the first people organization was Rasika, who did a remembrance concert for him in Portland. Thank you for that, because it is touched me personally, my family, because everybody, a lot of people say that they are very close and all, but putting into action and then organizing a concert not in India but very far away from place, and you bought us George Brooks. Sir, thanks Raman sir for both of you for doing it, because it's actually, what else we can say, we are touched.
Yes.
Thank you for that wonderful concert. I still remember that.
So from the school, the philanthropy, the extent of philanthropy is amazing, because teaching for free is not something people can do, especially in this pandemic. A lot of artists have not been able to perform, so teaching has been their only way of sustenance. And even now, you're not charging.
No.
You're not charging. So that's what
I was saying. If my brother says something, if it was his dream, there's no way you can go out of that, because life. That's what he taught me. Life can put you down, and you can never go back on the word you gave. It's. I mean, like, God will. If you do good, God will do good to you. That's what my brother believed, and we believe. I mean, somehow, somewhere, he will start helping us.
Yeah.
As you said, it should not change. The agenda should not change when you are in struggle. Then what is the point in saying it?
Yeah.
Statement. And as you're talking about pandemic, we did a show called Healing Mandolin on our brother's name, and we raised funds, and we supported about 35 artists. Thanks to all the people who supported really generously. We supported around 35 artists, especially in Tanjavur districts, who doesn't have even internet knowledge. They can't even take online classes and something. So we whatever collected in single, including the last penny, was been spent on the musicians, and then they felt so good. I mean, and being a musician, if you don't help, times like this, there's no point.
Yes.
It's pair like two other people who can do a fundraiser and then help them. I think this is what my brother would have done if he is there physically.
Yeah. So now, so that line of philanthropy to continue is very hard, because especially during the pandemic, when you don't have a lot of funding coming in to you to sustain you.
A lot of. I think most of the artists were sitting and eating on their savings, because there's no concert. Musicians, if you have to travel, play concerts, otherwise there's no. I mean, this is the livelihood.
Artists, it's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard.
Artists, artists' life has become really tough.
And when it is difficult to actually do a concert like the Healing Mandolin, what you did, and to raise funds for somebody else, and to give away all that money, especially in a time where you yourself are struggling hard and are trying to juggle things, to do is a very noble act. And it's a rare thing to be seen. And then to teach for free during the pandemic, where it's a source of sustenance for most people, it's also a rare thing. So kudos to you for doing something so amazing. I'm going to jump in and have you play.
Of course. I mean, this is the only thing we know to do, and it is the only thing gives us happiness. Playing concerts, and that's a different thing. It opens up our brains. It's always like that. We our generation should support. The same way it happened. My brother was like a giant. I mean, sitting next to me, I'm just like a very small. I mean, that's how you have to, help whenever possible. Whatever you can do, you should do your bit. That's what we learned from our guru.
Yeah. So so this next week's concert is at the same exact time. Please, tune in. We are going to do this Facebook Live, but having if you join us at the same time, the ambience of listening to Vidwan, Rajesh live is an amazing feeling. And so I'm going to have you play one more thing for me. One of my favorite pieces I just played when we were starting the thing was Dances with Breezes.
Okay.
And I actually had that in my concert, dance production Duality, which you were the music composer for that concert,
Yeah.
that dance production. And Hariji sang in that, and I had a huge troupe, and it was it was a sold out concert at the the Performing Arts Center here. So we had a lot of fun. We had
In fact,
and
it was a beautiful experience for me to do the music, and Hariharanji was been very
very kind.
kind. And then the whole production, when I came there and I saw your rehearsals, is amazing. It's not easy. It's a mammoth task,
It's a
if I'm
huge,
not wrong. It's
it's
huge,
huge
and
task.
you spending time for see, time is most precious thing in this world. So much time you put in that project to bring it out.
Two
I
years,
think that's,
2 years,
yeah, it's not easy.
2 years of work went into that project, and
I mean, that kind of passion, I think every musician has has it. I mean, like everybody has. That's why musician become, uh, reach that caliber because you need to dedicate yourself so much time. Time is most expensive, as I said.
that's true.
Money comes later, but time, you spend 2 years on.
That was work, and the whole team came in together. My senior students performed, we had dancers from Delhi and Chennai and Bangalore and musicians from Chennai. So there was a huge mix of artists around me, helping and bringing the vision to fruition. So it was about immigration, and a very apt team at that time. So that was me seeing you as a music composer. We have seen you grow now as a musician, as a music composer. We have seen you now as a teacher, growing as a teacher, and personally growing as a dad and a husband and a
Mhm.
father. So that those are different facets of you, and so that's what currently you're doing, your music and what you are. What does what is what for people who want to learn, when did Rajesh start playing first, what did he do, what did the past, Google him, you can learn about him, but um, uh, what is it currently that you're doing? You just started playing this on this wonderful day of Vijayadashmi. Is there a specific, you played as Kiravani, Anna's favorite ragam. I want you to play Rajesh, Mandolin Rajesh favorite ragam. What is your favorite ragam?
Charikesi is my favorite ragam because from my childhood, that's the only ragam which has got the both the sad and happiness parts. When I'm very very sad, I lock myself. I'm telling when I was young, and pump up the volume and play, very vigorously. And when I'm very happy, also I play that ragam because that's the only ragam gives me kind of happiness, and then that's been my favorite ragam. As I told you, I'll do like a small medley. I'll start with being Dashra Ma Durga's song, and then go into Dances of the Breezes,
Yes.
and then Charukesi.
Okay. Please. you so much.
which we started with Devi Kriti, Janani, then
Janani.
I went to Sharkesi, and then Dances in the Braces.
Yeah, Dances in the Breeze is one of my absolute favorites. And I actually, when I talked to you about when I was doing the duality production and I requested you to create the music, we were working on it. The first thing I said was grab this music, and I said I want this. Selva has played on it. He's recited the Kunna call, and it just this beautiful uh, piece that can make you feel amazing. And so choreographing for the piece and presenting that piece, that's the first thing I think I grabbed, and I said I want to do this. So make sure you give me this, the rights to play and to dance for that. And then we, of course, everything blossomed. So it's one of my absolute favorite pieces, and it was not just happiness and pleasure for me, but it was great honor for me to have performed that piece. From philanthropy, from music, from Srinivas, we're jumping into Mandolin Rajesh. Vidwan Mandolin, you Rajesh, your future. You have gone, you played with Mohini Day, you played with so many artists, right? And so Ranjit Barrow, you played, I mean, Shivamani, of course, one of your favorites, and all these people around you, right?
Well, when my brother was physically around, I mean, I had the liberty, time, and uh, to explore a lot, because he's like strong. One classical route is strong set. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had the liberty to, I can tie a rope and then go around and come back to the mainstream. But after my brother's physical, I mean, why I'm saying physically absent, I feel he's still there with me,
Of course.
with me guiding as a guiding light. So that's why I always say when he's physically left.
Of course.
That's what I believe very strongly. He's always with me, with us.
Yeah.
So now the huge responsibility, I have to keep up that the classical track, which I know you have to fill that part, and at the same time, I just want to do what I like as well.
Yeah.
Has always been that excite you.
Yeah.
There is responsibility. There's where a fun part. The fun part is I like to explore and play with different kind of artists, because there's always
There's a
beauty
growth.
exploring. Yeah, it excites me, and I think it excites any artist. I know you like to collaborate
course.
with new genres.
Yeah.
That gives us a new perspective, and you'll start enjoying your music more when you collaborate. I think that's the fun part.
Yeah.
So after my brothers, I used to be very restricted to play with whom I like. But after that, a lot of changes, it opened my mind. And after that, I said, I want to play with anybody I want. Anybody, like not that I'm confident, but I want to explore. If even I fail, I learn.
Okay.
So it's then I took it like a challenge. So after that, in fact, past few years I've been collaborating with a lot of artists. I mean, I never played with Shashank when my brother was around. I played with Shashank, Jugalbandi. Of course, I played with Rakesh Oras a lot. Mysore Manjana, the Nagaraj, both. I never played with them. I mean, in fact, honestly saying, they used to be when my brother and they were. I was very young. The age difference is much longer. So and now, in fact, they are like, Manjuji, Nagaraji, I would like to do a Jugalbandi with you. I said, it's an honor, sir. I've seen you as like stars, and then you asking me to play. It's like my honor, and I exploring a lot after that. I mean, collaborating everyone. I mean, I said it's an opportunity to learn. Amazing experience, learning experience. And first of all, if you want to collaborate, first thing you should remove from your whole equation is ego.
Yeah.
You should be ready to learn. You might fail. It's good. Only if you fail, you know how to not to fail next time.
Yeah.
And see, they might know something which you would not even explored, and you're getting it free of cost.
Yeah.
When you work with different artists, and it's a blessings. You
That's true.
and it gives so much of joy to be on stage with different artists and their experience sharing, and it's always fun. I think it's a fun part. I've been working with. Of course, I played last year concert with Zakir Bhai.
Yeah.
Rakesh Bhai, and then Selva. We did a show, and playing with them gives me a lot of knowledge. You know, uh,
I've seen mm, Srinivas work with just people want to work with him constantly, right? They want to work with him because, like I said, he's he's a
yeah,
jam.
he gives joys on stage when you perform with him. That's very important. Maybe of course, the music part. Everybody wants to be with him, and the amount of joy he gives you, and
Okay.
in his presence, I think that's very important. That's what I've learned, and I'm still learning. People should, hey, I want to play with you, man. I feel good.
Yeah.
That's the first impression you should give to any artist you want to collaborate.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
I'm wrong, but that's what
happy.
I've
Yeah, that's very true. And I remember there was an instance where there was a artist who came and said, Amma Jayantima, mention my name first, okay, before those people, and mention my name first. And then she was saying, well, this person is a senior person. Why can't we say his name first? I said, Srinivas, a violinist came and said, and okay, Srinivas, I'm going to do this. So I read everybody's name, but then and then I finally said Srinivas. And then I said, you saved the best for last, and let me introduce Srinivas. It didn't bother him at all where he was mentioned in that.
I'll tell you one more incident. I mean, like, first of all, people with utmost talent, confident, they don't care.
He didn't care.
People who are insecure only wants to be their name big, and that's the good thing I've learned all our students learned. You don't need to care. Music should speak.
It's
Giving 10 pages of biodata doesn't help. For me, the best biodata is disciple and guru. I mean, like, my guru was U Srinivas and I'm his disciple. That's the best biodata. That's what you did. That's what I insist on all the concepts. There's no point in reading all the achievement. Your
yes.
music should speak. That's
Yeah.
very, 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 very important.
And
I strongly believe in that.
yeah, what is the best thing is the name. Just one name. If you've already gotten it, people will know. If I say Zakir Bhai, everyone knows Sir Zakir Bhai ji. If I say Mandolin Srinivas, I don't have to say what it is. If I say Balamuli sir, I don't have to go and say, these achievements. At that point, they matter no
And
more.
nowadays, the technology is so good, you don't need to explain. People already know. And if they're buying a ticket and coming for your concert, they know everything. They are not fools. I mean, like, audience are the best judges. If they are coming for your concert, they only if they like you, they'll come. And I'm talking about simplicity. I wanted to share one incident about my brother. I still remember, I think it's 98 or somewhere. He got Padma Shri. He was the youngest Padma Shri.
Yeah.
Even I might not react like that. It was announced. It's a huge thing. In fact, especially those days.
One of the highest civilian honors in India.
So when the message came, Telegram, it comes through Telegram. I mean, like, I don't know whether a lot of people know that. And then I was so excited and wow, we should celebrate this, that. You know what he did? They gave me an award. It's because of God's grace, maybe fluke. I don't know. Maybe I don't know whether they deserve it. And he started his puja, he started his practice. He didn't even get excited.
Okay.
For him, whether it's Padma Shri or a normal, it's same. He says that it's because of God's grace I got.
Yeah.
I should not celebrate it because God has given me. He's been kind enough. I mean, that's what we learned from him.
Yes.
Very important.
And when people ask me what are my biggest achievements and biggest regrets in my life, there are two big achievements I always say. One is I worked with Lalgudi Mama, and he's again a colossus in the field of Carnatic music, and Hariharan sir, who sang for my concert, and I danced live on stage. So those are
I remember I saw the video.
Yeah, so for me, those were my highest achievements. And the two regrets I always had was somebody was going to see Abdul Kalam sir. So they said, you want to come? I said, I need rehearsal. What will I do? And then I missed that. And I missed ever meeting him, ever. And there was a time in 2010 where I wanted to work with Srinivas, and I said I was scared a little bit, and I missed. I worked with somebody else, and I missed, and I said I want to do this. And so when duality had come up, my initial thing was Srinivas, right? That was my initial thing, because it was a very different production. I wanted Srinivas, so that's why I had asked you. So,
but ultimately, most of the music part is from his albums or his playing. So that he's the only musician who was born in a very, very remote village in Andhra Pradesh, who took an instrument which is not even connected to our country, and then again he mastered the art of South Indian Carnatic music. and gave it to the world. I think he's the only musician who could do
Yeah.
it. That's why a lot of people call him as an avatar or Gandharva,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's very truly sad.
Truly said.
Sorry, I'm
So
interrupting you. You're saying
no,
something.
no, no. That's exactly what I was saying. That's how people connect to him. And so now the future of Rajesh. I just have little 2 more minutes. I wanted to ask. This pandemic, you're doing a lot of things. You've just started your thing, and I wish you the best too for your musical career. We wish you the very best for your personal life and for your musical career. But if there is something you want to say, this is what I'm going toward, and professionally, what do
You
you?
want a honest answer?
I don't want you to lie.
Let
No.
me be very honest. In my life, I've never planned. I cannot plan. First of all, I never wanted to become a musician. I became a musician. I wanted to become a pilot. And Kanchi Paramachari, when I was 8 years old, he asked me to take music as my profession. And then every incident happened in my life was not under my control, And then my journey started, and now I'm in a different situation. My brother is not there. I have a lot of other responsibility, musically, non-musically.
Sure.
So every part in my life is, I think God is directing to me do it. Yeah, I have a lot of pending collaborative works which I would like to do, which I've been waiting for so many years. But still, I think I leave it to God because whatever we plan, He's got a plan which He reveals only at the last moment. So that's why I asked you. Let me be very honest. I am working with Peter Lockett, the new album, and also I'm working with Greg Ellis. He's a percussionist who works from Los Angeles. He works with great music directors in Hollywood. Um, so the projects are happening,
Okay.
but
So
also
the
I'm doing a lot
specific.
of Carnatic collaborative.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to come like with Manjuji. There's going to come a lot of albums. So it's a lot of things lined up, but ultimately it's God's will. Everything should come out well.
So any specific ambition beyond that, beyond just God's willing and forging your path, any ambitions that you have? I want to play with this person.
Only
I want.
ambition is I should practice as much as possible. Especially
Good.
pandemic helped me a lot. You know, you can perfect yourself more. I think it's God's given time to. After Anna passed away, I was traveling like crazy. I didn't have time. I put all this time to improve myself musically, spiritually, and then my ultimate aim is to do whatever my brother wanted to do
Okay.
before my time comes, and I fulfill, and I have to be happy. At least I fulfilled what my brother wanted to do. That's the future plan, honestly.
Great. Great. So I want to thank you, Rajesh. I mean, we've
No,
talked.
thank
I
you for this
think.
wonderful evening. In fact, I should appreciate that your questions been very, very, very unique, very sensible, and very knowledgeable. That's very important. And I'm very happy to share my experience, thoughts, and everything. Thank you, you and Ramanji, once again for this wonderful thing, and looking forward for our live show next week.
Yes, next week. But I'm going to. I don't want to end this. I just want you to play 2 minutes. Raman's favorite song, Prakala. Every artist
Okay.
he says, "Can you please play? Can you please play?" So,
I remember in Portland when we performed, you were saying don't disturb them. What they want to play, let them play. He came. He was doing the sound and he said, "I want Prakala." I remember my brother said, "Sir, you said no, it's done," and we
yes.
played main that day.
And I remember coming and telling him, "Don't ask for Prakala, don't." But
Still,
today,
yeah,
because it is Saraswati Puja in Portland, in
yeah,
Oregon, for us in US, and it's Vijayadashmi there. So let me ask 2 minutes of Prakala before we
of
end
course.
this. Thank you.
Thank you once again. I'll conclude the session with Prakal and everybody. Once again, I thank you, all the audience who came, and then wish all the best and happy Dashera to you and your family and all the people who are watching. Thank you once again.
Thank
Namaskar.
you.